back to Peterson Auto. Today we're going to do some rib nuts. Basically little rivets that have threads in them. Take a bolt and thread it in. I don't know, the lighting's horrible, but so we're working with this dimmer switch here. Okay, so floor mounted dimmer switch for the Dolly build, the 88, old school technology. Now from the factory, these floors have been replaced first of all, so the holes aren't there and the rot's not there and everything else. You can see all the seam sealer and the underlayment to try to help with sound deadening and that stuff. Anyway, from the factory, these are attached with screws drilled through holes in sheet metal, very similar to this screw here. Now, that worked, but it's not ideal. They're known to, the screws will rust from the underside, and then you're not getting them out. They're also known to have issues where you have to go to larger screws, or they'll rattle loose, or work themselves loose. So, I'm not a fan of that, and we're going to go ahead and basically use another method here today. And that's going to be these rib nuts. So, we got here's the rib nut. Okay, I'll just hold it up. First thing is drill a hole. So you're going to find a drill hole that's the size of the rib nut. So, got the drill with the speed bit here. Got the two holes marked. Hopefully this e-brake assembly is not too bad. There you go. Definitely don't want to go too big, because then it won't hold. So there we go. Got one rib nut in. Over here I have the tool. Take a rib nut, thread it on a bit, open it up, thread it on the rest of the way. Okay? So thread it on the whole way with it open, just like that. Put it in the hole. And crimp. Now if you want, you can thread that handle down and give it just a little bit more to keep it in there. Then you unthread this handle. And you have a rib nut mounted. At which point you can screw your hardware into. So, we got that mounted there and everything. I'm going to do the next one real quick. We're going to double check our location just to be sure. Pretty sure it'll line up, which it looks like it's gonna. mount our switch. We have a threaded nut into a piece of sheet metal that we can use to mount our switch with. It's going to allow us to mount it in a way it's going to be much more stationary and secure than Ford ever thought. Alright, that hardware doesn't line up perfectly, and I'll have to get it in there a little better, but we'll get her mounted. That's just going to give you an idea there. I also got to cut a hole in the carpet and put the carpet bezel in, get it all back together. But I wanted to show you rib nuts. They're really cool, really useful little things. I also used them on the dash to hold the gauge pod in. I think I mentioned that in the dash video. So, you know, when you have something where you can't fit a nut on the back side of it, or it's going to be inconvenient or a pain in the rear, rib nuts are the way to go. They work pretty good, especially for lower weight objects. Like this doesn't weigh much, it's not taking much force other than the downward force of your foot pushing on it. So it's fine there. I wouldn't mount your seats with a rib nut unless you get the OE style rib nuts designed for, you know, the weight and forces and structural of that car. But I mean, a 1/4-20 bolt on either side is going to hold that without any problems there. So I'm not concerned about that one. So, yep. There's rib nuts for you. Use them up, just like the U-nuts. I love U-nuts. I love rib nuts. They make things so much easier. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Peterson Auto.